You ever had a blockade with your miniature army? I had the same, and today we will look into how Gunpla helped me solve mine. I am Mark and you are watching Wolf Life Miniatures. For me, that was the case with my Warhammer 40k Tau army. I had my painting scheme for the infantry down, but did not know how to transfer it to the battle suits or the vehicles. I knew which story I want to tell with them, but I did not really know how to bring that story on with the miniatures, and I also wanted them to stand a little bit more out, and I also didn't know how to do that. So I kinda was really stressed out with the army. I believe I did not work on them for months. But then I built my first figure-wise amplified kit from Bandai, and I started to look more into these kind of model kits, because you don't need to paint them, you just build them because they come in colored runners and you can completely focus on the building experience. So when I started to look into more kits that I could build, I could not stop me from looking also into Gundam. I mean, giant robots from outer space? That sounds a lot like Tau. And I believe everyone can see how they inspire Tau in the beginning. You both have frames that you can then upgrade with different modules for different tasks. Yes, that's a lot like Tau. And oh boy, to look into Gundam was a rabbit hole in itself. There are a lot of techniques that are used in both processes, mostly in the weathering area. And that was actually great for me because my style of my Tau army relies a lot on heavy weathering to tell the stories that I want to tell. But there are also two techniques that are more suited for customize your kit. The one is gun plates, which are plastic hard parts that you put on the armor and shape a little bit to add more detail. And the other one is scribing, where you use a chisel to put more panel lines and more details into the actual panels. These are two techniques outside of kit bashing where you really can modify your kit a lot. And I never considered them for Warhammer 40k, and I believe for a Tau army they are really perfect. Another thing that got more attention of me was diorama building. There are a lot of cool dioramas out in the 40k scene and also in the general hobby, but I always more considered them for the painting and crafting aspect, which is stupid because one of the biggest things from a diorama is the actual storytelling. So that could be a perfect way to look more into my army and give it more character. So that was a lot of techniques that I could use to rework my Tau army and get my ideas to the actual models. So I needed a plan, and my plan was pretty simple. Let's build my first Gundam kit and try the first technique with panel lining out on it and then transfer it to the models. Let's see how that goes. As you can see, we have everything finished building, but I want to do a little bit of customization before we go into putting everything together. So let's do some panel lining. I show it to you at one part, then do the rest, and then we can look at the finished Gunpla. So with panel lining, you want to enhance the recesses that we have here and give them a little bit more life. And the good thing is that I use a very simple product for this. And let me show you how easy it is to make that happen. You have a little brush-like thingy that you can just tap on here and it will flow magically where you want it to have. And don't worry about the
stuff at the side. We will take care of that in a moment. But first, add the color everywhere where you want it to be. So just quickly do it here. Then we can go in little points like that. It would help if you have a little bit less of the paint actually on the brush. Oh, and do this in very good ventilated areas because it smells. It smells a lot. So now we have it in every part where we want it to be. I let it dry a little moment. And then we start cleaning up. For the cleaning up I need white spirit. You can get that from a ton of different companies. I would not recommend buying from this company here for some reasons that I will not explain in this video. If you are interested, just look the company up. I think you will find it quite quickly. Then I just dab some stuff on my curtain bud, and as you can see, easily and very carefully remove everything that I don't want to have on the model. It helps actually to activate it with one side and then clean it up with the other side. So let me quickly clean that part up, and then we will look at the different parts to make in comparison. So I'm finished cleaning, and if you now look at the two parts, you clearly see which one has more defined features, and you can enhance your model quite easily with this easy step. And I will do that now for the full Gundam, and then we will look at our end result.
So here we have the finished Gundam model that you just saw, and I'm super happy with him, and I really like the panel lining on all of his panel lines, of course, and I want to see how that looks on a Warhammer 40k model, and so let's look at some Tau that I paint in the stream today. So, how do you like my Tau? I find they turned out great. And I cannot wait to try the other techniques that I spoke about in this video on Tau models, and the next thing that we will look into is scribing, which we will do in the next video in this series. Until then, thank you for watching and have a good day!